I think I'll stick him in alongside Henry. And there is a pace and there is a threat about those two that Tottenham are going to have to cope with.
Well, the big news for Tottenham, intensive treatment on Sol Campbell has paid off, and also back into the side after injuries. Stephen Carr, it's his first start this year. Tim Sherwood, Stephen Clements and Sergei Rebrov, who all missed last weekend's match at Highbury. Clements owes his chance to an unlucky knee twist at training to Stefan Freund.
Well, when you're underdogs, you usually are the one who set the tactics to keep you in the game, and I think that's what Glenn has to do. If they're going to win this, then these four players there have got to play as well as they did at Upton Park in the last round. All four of them had fantastic games. They were immense, and that was the basis for the victory. Ahead of that, they may have problems here. Carr and Young in the wide areas. I think it's if those two get pushed back, and then Arsenal's full-backs come up in behind them, then they might have a problem. The Sherwood and Clements may get a little bit overrun in there. Ahead of that, though, it looks attack-minded. It's very Southampton-like, and it's outlay this front three. The one worry would be, and I don't think I mind it early on, though, Everson and Rebrov won't be playing too much chasing back. I think they've got to affect the play coming the other way. And Glenn might just be worried that they're chasing too far back towards their own goal. Initially, I don't think he'll mind, but as the game grows and they grow, then they've got to supplement Ferdinand up front.
Well, Tony Adams will remember, of course, the semi-finals of 91 and 93, especially 93 when he got the winner. David Seaman, mixed emotions in those two games, 3 conceded in the Gascoigne's match, if you like, and a clean sheet 2 years later. Lee Dixon, who was sent off playing for Arsenal against Spurs in that semi-final of 1993. They're all still around, they're all still hugely influential. And Spurs have their own Colossus. How fit he is, well, only really deep down he knows. It's a gamble, but maybe it's a day to take risks. Glenn Hoddle's first match as manager of Tottenham Hotspur. In a way, the preparation hasn't been ideal for either side. Spurs with these fitness checks. Arsenal's distraction came in the large shape of a Champions League quarter-final and Friday's sorrowful farewell to David Rocastle. But with the adrenaline flowing, everyone pumped up. All involved are now raring to go. Arsenal against Tottenham for a place in the FA Cup final, live.
If you're a Sky Digital viewer, check out Sky Sports Extra this afternoon. You've got all the usual features there: fan zone, choose your own camera, stats, the whole lot. Providing fan zone commentary this afternoon, Stuart Birchall and Daniel Wynn. No fighting gentlemen, please. I wonder. Glenn Hoddle back in charge of Spurs. What a way to start. The FA Cup semi-final between Arsenal and Tottenham is live here on Sky Sports 2. We're at Old Trafford. Match commentators Andy Gray and Martin Tyler.
Thank you very much, Richard. Thierry Henry and Sylvain Wiltord have started for Arsenal 9 times together and only been on the winning side once, but that was against Tottenham last weekend. They're the strikers that Sol Campbell will be keeping an eye on, and if you want to check just how fit he is, well, you can concentrate on him if you're a Sky Digital viewer through our player cam for the first 15 minutes or so on channel 404. Well, isn't it amazing? The last time I saw Glenn Hoddle before today, I interviewed him at Tranmere when he was knocked out of the FA Cup in the most dramatic of circumstances as manager of Southampton. Now they're calling him the King of White Hart Lane. Arsene Wenger, very much the man in charge at Highbury, who was shattered by that FA Cup semi-final replay against Manchester United a couple of years ago. There are absolutely no half measures here. It's delight or despair. There's little joy at just being part of a semi-final, unless perhaps, of course, you're the referee, who is Graham Poll. Where's Ferdinand playing for Tottenham for the 100th time today? a minor statistic. Another one is that he's not scored a cup goal for them. This would be timely to change that. Pitch is much better than it was yesterday. They've had to have blow heaters out on it to dry it up from the heavy rain of the past 2 or 3 days. Header by Gary Doherty, who's been very important and made major contributions to Tottenham to get this far. So, of course, as George Graham, we shouldn't forget him today. But this is Glenn Hoddle's Tottenham. Sylvain Wiltord, who has scored 6 goals in the tournament so far, scored in every round. No one's done that all the way through to the final since Peter Osgood for Chelsea back in 1970. Silvinho. Here's Pires. Vieira just holding off the play and making himself available by doing so. A shot by Wiltord.
Exactly on the minute mark. That's what I think Tottenham are going to do, Mark. They're going to maybe concede a little bit of territory here, defend the edge of the box. You can see there, I talked about Everson and Rebroff. They don't want to, as the game goes on, be getting pushed too far back. Everson on top of Stephen Carr there. Has to help him out. I think Rebroff is going to have to do the same on the other side with Dixon. And that means that Les Ferdinand, when the ball comes quickly to him, he's going to have to be big and brave enough to hold it up and wait for support.
Adams. And Hoddle and Arsenal have both had a good hiding at Old Trafford this season. Both Southampton and the Gunners ended 5 goals adrift of Manchester United. And here we are, the North London derby. An old rivalry at Old Trafford, almost 200 miles away from where it normally takes place. Sherwood missed 3 matches, and a little bit of rustiness there, maybe a disagreement with Perry.
They wanted Perry to play it long, but at the moment I have to say Arsenal have come out the traps really brightly, popping it about, good passing, good movement. Spurs are doing all the chasing.
Here's Ray Parlour. He's a bit flat-footed in the centre, to tell the truth. He's on the move now. And Neil Sullivan has to grasp it. Sullivan, who was superb in the quarter-final against West Ham. And did very well in the midfield tactical battle then. Here's Stephen Carr, who's got beyond Silvinho. Adams deals with it at the near post.
Poor from Silvinho. Well, that should be a throw-in. There's nothing wrong with the tackle from Sherwood. I think he's given a free kick. Just wins the ball here. Lovely tackle. Plays it out for a throw-in. That earlier challenge from Silvinho, he got caught with the boot of Stephen Carr. That's why he's holding the side of his head. But it was a pretty poor attempt at a tackle, I have to say. That might be a key area for Tottenham, Martin, if they can get Stephen Carr, who we know loves to get forward. You get him 1v1 against Silvinho.
Silvinho has only started 2 of the last 15 Arsenal games, partly through injury, partly through selection, with Ashley Cole doing so well, and partly because of the needs of his country, Brazil. Ferdinand. Tottenham fans fueled by omens of the year ending in 1. Spurs FA Cup triumph in 1967, the last year the country had a foot and mouth epidemic. I'm also pleased that their fans have got the allocation at the tunnel end here at Old Trafford. That's memories of '91 at Wembley and their successful semi-final against Arsenal. Adams. Pires. Wiltord's pulled away. Lee Dixon coming in from right back to give Sullivan more early work.
I have to say, Martin, Lee Dixon, wonderful move, but if he plays anything along the 6-yard box, you watch Lauren arrive here. Wonderful build-up play. Now look at Lauren, he wants it, he's desperate. Anything along there, it's a sure tap in.
the winners' medal in the Olympics, a gold medal. Will it end with an FA Cup triumph as well? Sherwood. Everson. He's been playing as the right wing-back, but he's got Stephen Carr, as Andy's pointed out, behind him today. All over-eager from Parlour.
It's important that Graham Paul doesn't overreact. I think today, with it being the local derby as well as an FA Cup semi-final, good to see him just tell players to calm down early on in the match.
Chris Perry having a problem or two with the run of the ball then. Hit his pass. Flick from Wiltor. Henry will collect. Wiltor can get it back. And challenge Perry here. Sherwood trying to give him some help, but Wiltor crosses. Henry to get under his foot.
Well, you didn't see that too often, do you? He's disappointed. Thierry Henry. Lovely play again, I have to say. Been a really good 6 minutes for Arsenal. They've come out, the traps, they've dominated. They've asked a question or two already. Dominance at the moment. But it is early, and I would have expected this. It's important for Spurs that they're not out this game, Mark, before they're in it.
I suppose Arsenal's priorities have been with the Champions League, both staying in it and qualifying for it again. No doubt the Tottenham season comes to an end if they lose today. Lau gets the setting off again. Lauren. Keown playing in the FA Cup for the first time this season.
Well, I think when you look at Keown and Adams, it's quite astonishing, Mark, that in 2001 this is only the third game that they started together.
Well, Graham Poll had a decision to make then. There was a chance that Arsenal would have benefited even though the ball had gone forward after the foul by Perry. He decided it was serious enough to call it back and get the card out.
Yeah, I think rash by name, rash by nature there.
Rash by nickname, yes.
Yeah.
It's Perry. Rash because he's all over you, as footballers' dressing room parlance will say. His style of defending, limpet-like. Tottenham will need plenty of that today, you feel. There have been days in the last year or so when the news hasn't quite been taken at Arsenal. The champion, the UEFA Cup final. Galatasaray, recent match against Villa that we brought you. They need to show they're up for this one. The early signs are promising. They've got a corner.
Well, Spurs can't get the ball, and when they do, they can't keep it at the moment. That's the problem. Arsenal, on the other hand, have been composed and confident. Vital for Tottenham not to concede early.
Going in behind him is Vieira. He's queuing up to head it away. In the end, it was Campbell. And a bit of grabbing by Silvinho gives Spurs some time to get out and maybe get on the ball, something they found very difficult so far. But restarting the game is a problem because Martin Keown has stayed on his knees inside the Tottenham penalty area.
I have to say, Martin, he's not one of those players, Martin Keown. He stays down. Whether it was an aerial clash if the corner came in, he was the initial target. He went for the ball as it arrived. Not well taking a whack on the mouth. Yeah.
Arsene Wenger, widely attributed as the man who did most to encourage Glenn Hoddle, the player, to think about becoming Glenn Hoddle, the coach. Try and see how Keown was hurt here.
Tim Sherwood catches him, but totally unintentional. Sherwood had no idea Keown was arriving. But Glenn Hoddle, I've noticed Martin's been down there for the last 30 seconds or so with Stephen Carr, just trying to pinpoint one or two things, maybe tinker with a little odd thing or two. I'm sure this will be out towards Everson on top of Silvinho.
Staying up to try and help the left back and help Perez as well. With Adams again. Clements. They've had pretty much a free week to work on the system that Glenn Hoddle wanted to use today.
I just wondered, you know, I thought about it all week, whether I know Tottenham have been playing under George Graham with the three at the back, but Glenn at Southampton has been playing with a back four. I wondered whether he'd change it. I think the game's too big for him to have done that. I think had it been a league game, Mark, we might well have reverted to a four.
And maybe had Sol Campbell been 100% fit as well.
Yep.
Clements. Very much a homegrown feel, though, about Tottenham Hotspur with the like of Stephen Clements and Stephen Carr. So about Arsenal these days.
It's an Anglo-French affair for Arsenal, isn't it? 4 Englishmen, 4 Frenchmen in the starting lineup.
3 elderly Englishmen.
Yeah.
And Ray Powell. Campbell to take the free kick. Campbell. Given away by Sherwood. Certainly Campbell moving well to get the ball back. That's encouraging in particular for Spurs, and Ferdinand, who's had an excellent season. Young. Rebroff taking it on the turn. Impeded as he did so. Free kick to Tottenham.
They'll feel better, Tottenham, Martin. It's the best passage of play they've had in the match. They'll be a lot happier. And with a chance to test David Seaman. This one, they're not blessed with a renowned specialist on the field, only from this sort of range. Maybe they'd like their manager. That's often, isn't it?
Darren Anderton.
Yeah. But they've got Stephen Carr here. They've just pulled him right at the ball. I just wonder if he's involved in any shape or form here.
They're trying something elaborate involving Clements, Sherwood and Rebroff. Young. Gary Doherty stayed forward. And he's got a touchdown to Ferdinand. He's made space for a shot. Seaman saves it. Comes back to Everson. Doherty! Well, he is an FA Cup talisman. Gary Doherty scored the first in the cup run, and he scored the last at West Ham as well for Spurs in that game, and he scored here in the semi-final.
Well, what a big decision the young man makes to stay up as the free kick doesn't get cleared properly. First of all, he wins that, but what a save that is from David Seaman. And they get a little bit good fortune. Everson's volley, not a great one, but where does it end up? Right on the head of young Doherty. He just stays composed, uses the pace on the ball, and guides it wide of David Seaman. First real attack. What a result from it.
Lucky 13 for Gary Doherty, the 13th minute of the game. And the underdogs lead in the first of the day's FA Cup semi-finals. He has got striker's instincts, of course, Doherty, and is a dual-purpose player, and it served him particularly well there. He knew where to stay in, and a miss hit from Everson. He angled in with real authority, which was something that Tottenham's play was lacking in the early minutes of the game. Well, you just wonder whether Arsenal are not just taking on Glenn Hoddle's team here, but the tide of history as well. But it is early, and it's Henry. Cleared by Perry. Marlow wasn't sure where it was going to drop. Rebroff was. Ferdinand, who probably feel he should have scored, although Seaman did get a solid frame behind it.
Good news for Spurs initially at the beginning of this game is that Ferdinand of all the players, Martin, important that he plays well today. My goodness, his hold-up play has been excellent so far, apart from that ball out. But he's given a problem or two to Adams and Keown really. He's big, he's strong, he knows he has the pace to trouble him as well. And Tony Adams and Martin Keown know Ferdinand's at his best. He can be a real handful. He started really well.
Young. Making good ground here. Keown has to scurry across.
Well, they're rattled after, it's as simple as that. They were 10 minutes of really dominating the game. Bright, inventive. And the first real attack of any note from Spurs, they can see the goal.
Show. Doherty to go forward again to make an angle for the throw, but it's keeping it short in the end, and the flag went up for offside. Food for thought for Arsene Wenger and Arsenal. Would be thrilled. He's a cool customer, but he admitted an hour or so before the kickoff that the occasion was getting to him. No doubt his love for Spurs, for all the controversy of the way he switched from Southampton. His love for a club that he used to follow and then play for with such distinction is not contested. Silvino's cross. Sullivan knocks it away, but Lauren will collect for Arsenal. Some very good work with the ball. Maybe just bobbled up for him on the cross.
I think it's a game on, I think. You know, if we're looking for a classic cup semi-final, I thought it was vital for that. For us neutrals who wanted to enjoy this spectacle that Tottenham scored first.
Chris Perry was in a losing semi-final team for Wimbledon, as was Neil Sullivan. That was against Chelsea at Arsenal 4 years ago. Perez. Very challenges well. Everson. And a poke back by Keown. Stick doesn't go anywhere near the halfway line. Finding John Vieira was by Clements and seen as a foul by Graham Poll. Vieira. This really is a test of the temperament of the Arsenal team. Plenty of talent. No disputing that.
Tested their ability as well. There's no doubt Glenn Hoddle sent the side out basically 5-4-1 formation. Stephen Carr, Luke Young, almost playing his fullbacks against Parler and Perez. 4 across the middle. Les Ferdinand up front, and then when they get it, trying to get Everson and Rebroff from wide areas to support. It's going to be tough to break down.
It's going to be tough for Everson and Rebroff, who want to be going the other way to maintain their discipline. They've perhaps been caught out once or twice already, but to no damage. Perez. Wiltor. Silvino. Young who heads away, touch on from Show. Ferdinand fighting for this against his old foe, Tony Adams. No foul. Keown. Spurs weren't happy with that lack of decision, if you like, from Graham Poll.
I thought he deserved a free kick for it, I have to say.
Vieira. Sherwood biting in, the whistle goes this time, and it's a free kick to Arsenal.
Lewis Ferdinand asking the referee the question, why? Why is that a free kick and not the one against me?
Fair enough question.
Sympathy with it.
It's Perry. Comprehensively getting the better of Wiltor, but equally comprehensively, Vieira bites back for the Gunners. Carr. Only partially away by Stefan Everson. A bit narrow for Arsenal, though. Ferdinand. He gets his free kick this time.
It was worth having a word. I always think that as a player, people say you shouldn't complain, shouldn't ask the question. I think that we do often enough. Keep telling us they're only human, the officials. Sometimes get your way. But it's right for counter-attack for Tottenham, Martin. They've committed so many men forward, Arsenal, even early in the match. He's even rushing me along, 20 minutes into the game.
Stevenson in the air that time. Wiltor gets it back from Vieira. Both the fullbacks pushing on for Arsenal, but Wiltor banging it way behind Lee Dixon. Wiltor is the subject now for our player cam if you're watching our digital coverage on channel 404 with the interactive facilities. So see the highlights, and if you're a Tottenham fan you might want to look at that again and see Gary Doherty's goal. Rebroth. Lowry. No support for Henry and no real options for him. Challenge for Spurs then. Adams made that his. Well, there's an air of both sets of supporters being a bit stunned. Spurs perhaps by surprise. And Arsenal certainly shocked at being behind. Arsenal pretty much the side. Just the change at left back. Played against Tottenham in the last weekend. Plenty of changes for Spurs, and feeling that they would be stronger for them. They'd be sharper for them, of course, is down to the individual recoveries of a number of players from injury. Well, Clemens is caught, and it's Robert Pires. Is this going to be the equaliser? No.
One foot for me. I know we're talking about an international footballer. Thought he got a bit close to him for his right foot, but they get away with this. Tim Sherwood with a sloppy little ball, and it's not reacted to quick enough, but I just thought that should have been out his feet. Left foot was the one for me, anywhere in the goal. Glorious opportunity from Perez.
Carr. Everson. Rebroth joining Ferdinand in the centre. Fione's only looped it high, and Rebroth will challenge Dixon here. Fione happy to make a right foot round it in the end, but it's back from Spurs and Sherwood. Everson.
That's obviously a tactic they're going to look for, Mark. Even the ball, I think initially was aimed for Everson. It didn't quite get there, but Doherty made something of it. But Everson against Silvino. Yeah.
Henry. Clements going in powerfully, and Sherwood. Spurs have to show that they can stand firm in that vital part of the match. Vieira. Sort of territory where Patrick Vieira can run the show. Young. He's lost out here to Lowry. Parler. Perez. Wiltor. Just set for either Arsenal Frenchman there.
You know, it's like the last 10 minutes of a cup tie at the moment. So I think they're set for the day at the moment. I can't see, unless Spurs can get hold of the ball, the shape of the game is going to change. It's going to be pressure to absorb. Look at the breakaway.
Parler. Dixon. Just sitting really at the moment, and letting Maron and Parler push on, and Perez. All of those involved here. Doherty dived in. Wiltor sped past him. Parler's missed his kick. Henry was waiting behind, but the ball passed him as well. Headed away by Campbell. Spurs lead looking precarious.
That'll be a booking. lucky boy. Oh, he's a lucky boy, I think, Martin. I have to say, that's no worse than Chris Perry's, and Chris Perry's argument. This is beautiful play from Wiltord. Oh, again, maybe wrong foot, maybe left foot. Should have been the favoured one. But brilliant play this was from Wiltord. Looked to pick out Parlour. Just a fraction ahead of him, maybe. And Henry, it's not up level enough. The pressure is all there.
Carr. He's on the ground. Carr's on his feet and still on the ball. And Vieira trying to help out the Brazilian. Carr crowded out. Pires. Kept it in. Henry. Neil Sullivan's. There's a force from Arsenal again. They just lost it after the goal for a couple of minutes, but they picked up the flow of their football in the early stages of the game. Vieira. Silvinho. Give and go with Pires. Now Silvinho uses a Wiltord. Lauren. Parlour outside him. Lauren has a crack, can't keep it down. Well, Sky Sports won today. Hibernian against Rangers. Congratulations in passing to Celtic on their championship and Martin O'Neill and his men. And Monday night football, important one too. Middlesbrough still needing points at the bottom of the FA Carling Premiership against Sunderland, local derby with extra significance. Dixon. Silvinho. Wiltord, good movement by Pires. Anti-perception in the midfield play from Arsenal. The clout up front. It probably deserves to this point, and they're trailing to top. And all that means in an FA Cup semi-final.
Some of the football Arsenal has been really pleasing on the eye, Martin.
It's Sherwood. Bustles in for Spurs. Rebroff. Clements. Everson. Into the shoot. Rebroff controlled. Just slipped at the vital moment. Steered away by Keown. Wiltord. Pires. Has to check, otherwise he'd have been offside. If he'd been playing forward straight away, it was a difficult spot for Pires, who was looking in the opposite direction in truth. Carl was a bit disappointed. Only been played first time to be successful. Silvinho. Henry. Oh, and Lee Dixon's come a long, long way. Kept out by Sullivan. And Clements. Has it gone out for a corner? No.
I have to say, I cannot believe this game is still 1-0. What a run. He's carved a gaping hole through Spurs' defence, and that's a magnificent ball across goal. Again, maybe choice wrong. Henry, back post, square ball from Dixon would have been the ball. A very acute angle for Lee Dixon to be looking to score. This is just incessant, isn't it?
Tottenham are hanging on to the 1-0 lead given to them by Gary Doherty. Perry clears. Rebroff. Doesn't matter how you play in a cup tie, it matters what the score is at the final whistle. And Vieira got let off early. And Graham Poll just pointing out a number of challenges against Patrick Vieira.
Well, that one was more difficult for me to judge, I have to say. Let the ball get away from Everson, they ended up both stretching for it. But I think having gotten away with the last one, Martin,
what we're seeing here, and the confirmation incidentally of the yellow card for Patrick Vieira, but Arsenal playing with a back four, and yet the two full-backs are playing as if there's insurance in the centre, like wing-backs, aren't they? You've got Silvino on one side, Dixon on the other.
That's what I thought. I mean, exactly what I said at the top of the show. Because Perez and Parlour can push both Tottenham's wing-backs away back, now you've got Everson and Rebrov having to chase Dixon and having to chase Silvino. And they're leaving Ferdinand up on his own because they've got 2v1, the Keown and Adams against Ferdinand. So the two full-backs can just get the ball whenever they want. That's where all the ball is coming from. You're looking at all the ball is coming wide for Arsenal. They're getting plenty of space. Everson and Rebrov certainly will be running an empty if it continues. But to stop it, then Tottenham have to control the ball at some time, or try to. They haven't been able to do that. They're just defending and defending, looking to break, hoping to pinch another thing, or pinch another goal.
Lee Dixon might be running on empty. He's 37 years old.
He's got good engine, he has, though.
Doherty.
I'm really surprised David Seaman didn't call his skipper there. No danger whatsoever from that ball.
Paul has to go across, and that was one thing in Sol Campbell's mind there, that Ray Parlour wasn't going past.
I think Sol knew that. Again, like Vieira, he's going to be very lucky he's not getting away with it. Yeah, I think he knew. There's one thing going past, it was either the ball or the man, but it wasn't going to be both. It's the damage he may have done as well, Martin. Is it the right ankle that was a problem? If it is, that's the one he's holding, it's the one he's nursing.
11 days ago in Albania, when Sol Campbell had to go off playing for England. Insult and injury here. Mr. Beattie has done a great job to get him out there in the first place. Having to check this damage. In goes Vieira! Well, Tottenham can hardly complain, but of course Campbell is off. Vieira is in, the ball's in the net, it's 1-1.
Shades of Leicester at Charlton. Jerry Taggart off the pitch, an important big header. Probably one of the best is off, but this is a fantastic header. It's a glorious teasing ball that's saying, does someone want to go in after it? Well, the man has been so much an inspiration to this team, along with Adams, for me in recent years, is the man who's got this side back in it. Patrick Vieira brings the scores level. You have to say it's been coming. It was a matter of when and how, rather than if.
Well, you've got a foreigner here in Vieira who thoroughly understands what this fixture is all about, the culture of the North London rivalry. And if you look at Vieira's record, he's a 1 goal in 10 game man, week in, week out. But when it comes for Arsenal against Spurs, it's better than 1 in 4.
I think he's got a problem. I don't think Campbell's going to last. Ledley King has got to be coming on. He's got to be the one. But Tottenham, Stephen Carr looking and saying he's got no chance. It's an admitted gamble. It looks like a gamble that's going to fail within 35 minutes. He wants off.
But how ironic that the injury went on him again when he committed a cynical piece of play on the far side. And the difference with the Jerry Taggart incident, Andy, that you referred to the other weekend was, of course, Campbell was still getting treatment. Yeah. It wasn't just the formality of having to go off because he had some treatment on the pitch.
I'll tell you what, Martin, if he's got a suspect ankle, then that is just going to be the end of it. I have to say, when you see it like that, crumpled under Ray Parlour's body, twisted again, more damage to it. No doubt about that. And at the moment, all the noise is coming from away to our right, from the Arsenal fans.
Well, they've lost their lead, Tottenham, and they've lost their captain and their defensive linchpin. Of course, it was a risk, and in a way, so was the challenge on the far side, but Spurs were leading then, and he was prepared to take that risk, accept the yellow card for it. But Arsenal fully used the free kick, and on the balance of the game,
he's still not, I mean, he's still arguing the point here. I'm really surprised now. We saw it go under like that. I think he's asking John Gorman how long to half-time. The answer's
That's how
going to be 10
important he is
minutes.
to Spurs.
The thing is, Martin, you put him back on, his mobility is impaired in any way. The way Arsenal are at the moment, they really are getting at Tottenham. And any lack of movement and mobility may be crucial.
Well, they're a man short, Spurs, as well, while this goes on and these decisions are being made, and it was hard enough 11 against the Arsenal 11. Wiltor. Henry. Wiltor. If he checked inside the Stephen Carr, then the shot was on, and
I'll tell you what,
could have been in front.
I can remember Gerard Houllier, Mark, remember here, very important league match against Man U, delayed the decision, tried to see half-time through with 10 men, Solskjaer scored.
That's a bit tepid from Pires. Maybe he was half attracted to the movement from Martin Keown across towards the near post. Oh, they're going to put some strapping on, and surely that means they're going to send him on. Lowry. Murray got there first, but Dixon whips it back in, headed out by Doherty. Vieira looks for his second, all sorts of deflections there. It is a corner.
I think that's impossible. I mean, the decision's been made, he ain't going on. I think they've been very lucky here, Tottenham. That decision should and could have been made 5 minutes ago. But has it cost him a goal?
Well, Ledley King's been on standby all week. Of course, he has been in the team for most of the last 3 months. Did miss the game at Highbury. Well, it's a very sad moment for Sol Campbell personally. Tears in the eyes, one would suspect that. Lowry. Silvino. Challenge from Adams in the air, and Sullivan from Campbell, from Keown. So what they've done is they've switched Gary Doherty to the right of the three. Perry's in the centre where Campbell was playing, and Ledley King to the left where Doherty was. Parlour, who burst past King, and is a millimetre or two away from putting Arsenal in front for the first time in this semi-final.
Well, I have to say, Mark, for the third time I'm going to question the decision. All right, maybe he's taking a shot on, but yet again, there's another. Look at Wiltor. Look at Wiltor. Anything across the face. 3 times Arsenal got through on the right-hand side. 3 times they've ignored a player square on goal. He rolls his head. He wonders why it's still 1-1. Half-time can't come soon enough for Spurs, and Glenn Hoddle, whether he'll change it, Martin, he'll need to change something. I don't think they can absorb this sort of pressure for 90 minutes in a match.
Dixon.
It looks pretty closer than that, but it's been dominant, I have to say, the pressure.
Henry. Thierry Henry hasn't figured too much for Arsenal in the FA Cup. He started in the 5th round and the win over Chelsea. Scored from the penalty spot in that game. That gives you some idea of the domination that Arsenal have had of this opening 40 minutes. Lack of accuracy, though, keeps Tottenham in it. Parlour. Stephen Carr's an angry young man at the moment. He was the one calling for the decision to be made on the substitution. He's gesticulating to his teammates to be more positive. Spurs losing more ground in midfield in that last Arsenal attack that Carr himself had to defuse. Wiltor. Away by King.
Well, Arsenal would love this game just to run them up, just run the full force without a stop, without half-time. Tottenham, on the other hand, are up absolutely the opposite.
It's been a functional approach by Glenn Hoddle with John Gorman and Chris Hughton. Like the manager, former Tottenham players. Dixon. Parler. Occasions where a forward comes across to try and prevent a defender clearing and is a little bit late. There's Ferdinand catching Keown.
Yeah, they can be nasty, these. Fortunately, it doesn't catch him too badly.
There's a sort of a gloom about Tottenham, but it is 1-1. You shouldn't forget that. Departure of Campbell, despite Vieira's equaliser, despite Arsenal crossing long periods of this first half. Keown. Wiltor, Perez, flag is up.
It's very close, that Matt, I tell you. He looked like he might have just drifted in early, but it was really, really close. Again, lovely football. You see Stephen Carr's the one who's creeping round. And then as the ball's playing, oh dear, dear, that could have stayed down quite easily.
First to it again with Henry. Everson.
Just not keep it back. Any little have had of the ball, it's just been lost possession immediately, or giving it away.
Solo approach from Thierry Henry. Other Tottenham players who've been missing from matches, missing training. Stephen Clement's only just recently able to resume full training and only needed because of that injury in the preparation for this game too. Stephen Freund, who would have started. Tom Sherwood's been out a month or so. Stephen Carr last began a game in December, I think, for the Glenn Hoddle team now. It's at Southampton. King. Sherwood. Spreading it to Carr. Rebrov. Loosely away by Adams for once. So Sherwood gets it to Rebrov.
Too little of the Ukrainian mark. It's the first real glimpse we've seen of him. He's been a little bit like a lost soul on that left-hand side. Plenty stoppage time, 3 minutes I think it was there. So it's Rebrov. They've got to find a way at half-time, Tottenham, to get him involved in the game. At the moment, all he's done has been Lee Dixon's shadow. Again, he's running back towards his own goal.
Yes, and Everson's been dragged in by Perez. He's obviously meriting a ploy that worked very well for Glenn and the Southampton players.
With a back four, and it's slightly different because you've got three in midfield for Glenn's team then, and you've only got the two in Clements and Sherwood. They really are having to work extremely hard. Parler and Perez have done ever so well, because they haven't stayed wide, Mark. They've tucked into the centre as well. They've really given Tottenham a problem.
It's quite extraordinary that we're looking at a level half-time scoreline, given the nature of the football in this first half at Old Trafford, which has proved to be an inspired choice by the Football Association, the biggest available ground in the country to accommodate the demand for the semi-final. Maybe they've taken a chance in other aspects. From a football point of view, it's all going very favourably. Wiltor. Defending well for Spurs. Ferdinand. Got support from behind. Carr. King. Now Clements. A bit of possession for Spurs. Another feature of the first period. Of pluck, and it was a great moment for them when they took the lead.
Well, I think any little period like this, Mark, it can only be good for Spurs. It gives the defenders a respite, and gives them a little bit of confidence.
Henry. He's got Wiltor in here. Sylvain Wiltor. And work by Perry.
Chance gone.
But it's an appropriate note to end the first half on. Another Arsenal opportunity that they haven't taken. Gary Doherty took his chance early in a dramatic first 45 minutes here, but then they lost Sol Campbell, did Spurs, the gamble of playing him, and immediately lost the equaliser to Patrick Vieira's header. Plenty to talk about in the dressing rooms and in our studio at half-time. It's 1-1 at Old Trafford. For Arsenal fans in particular, the player cam now looks at the Robert Pires on the channel 404. 1-1. A one-sided 1-1 it might have been, but Tottenham still very much in the contest. The FA Cup history between these two great rivals is short and symmetrical. A win apiece in the third rounds of 1949 and 1982, a win apiece in those Wembley semis of 91 and 93. Scoreline at least, nothing between. Arsenal and Tottenham up here in the northwest, the North London rivals. As Graham Poll prepares to get the second half of this FA Cup semi-final underway. Pires. Vieira, who of course equalised earlier this season against the Spurs at White Hart Lane in the Premiership. Silvinho. Well, Andy, we wonder whether Glenn Hoddle might think about some tactical adjustments at half-time. It's often his way.
I thought he might, Martin. I have to say, he hasn't, certainly not with personnel anyway. I'm just looking closely at Everson to see where he's going to start. But at the moment, we're still seeing the same as the ball's played forward. Where's Redrock and Everson? They're both in deep, deep areas.
Ferdinand working back to dispossess Vieira. Sherwood. Allowed to go on.
Looked to hand
the feels that the ball had gone out.
It looked like as if he was falling, Silvinho. He just wrapped his left arm around the ball.
both sides then. Scored equal by the officials. Wiltor. Henry by the near post. Pires coming in. Not caught off guard. Show. Get some news from our touchline reporter Claire Tomlinson. Claire.
Well, Martin, I can tell you at half-time the substitution forms had gone into the referee and we were expecting Everson to come off and Leonardson to come on for Spurs. That was then cancelled by Glenn Hoddle. We understand that it may be because Les Ferdinand may be struggling, in which case they'll want to keep Stefan Everson on the pitch.
Adams. Everson ran fortunately for Tottenham. Rebroff was bounced in front of David Seaman, and no one could get close to it for Spurs to follow in Rebroff's effort.
What they seem to have done with Everson, Mark, at the beginning of the half is just tucked him in a bit, give him a 3 in the centre of midfield.
And pushed Rebroff more centrally up with Ferdinand.
I think that makes sense. There's two areas that needed help, and that was Ferdinand up front and in the middle of midfield.
Øyvind Leonardson is the midfield backup, but here is another of the Tottenham players coming back from injury. He hasn't played since being hurt against Stockport in the 5th round at White Hart Lane. Dixon, Sherwood, Silvino, a bit of time to assess the situation, and he assessed it. But it was worthy of a shot. It was a dipping effort.
Had plenty of time, took his time, struck it really well. Almost trying to hit it up and get it down. Not just enough.
Good contest again between Ferdinand and Adams.
That's where if Rebroff's going to play up there, he's got to get a bit of energy in behind.
Dixon. Wiltor. Very promising young player, Ledley King, and I'm sure he won't let Tottenham down coming into a very responsible role with Sol Campbell's departure. Sherwood's taken on the captaincy, incidentally. Lauren, Wiltor, Henry. Lauren wanted it just rolled to Henry's left.
Had some great options, Mark, haven't they, to do that when they've got in the last third. Arsenal pick a player out, opted for the shot time after time.
Certainly expected the whistle to go then. Perry's challenge didn't. And here's Everson squeezing it to Rebroff. Luke Young, who played here in the semi-final in '99. All the Tottenham players who started that game against Newcastle are still with the club, except David Ginola. Carr.
Good tackle. Really convinced that he was going to win that. Stephen Carr had been a little bit of bother, but his verbals no more than that.
And all the frustration of not being playing for the last 3 months seems to be coming out in Stephen Carr today. He's been very vociferous, very competitive. He needs to scamper back now because Pires unmarked to receive the throw. They were distinctly short of numbers in the centre from Henry's cross. Young probably wasn't aware of that. He needed some help, to be told. Lauren. Knocked away by Luke Young. Fione's header, helped on by Pires. Back by Perry for Tottenham. Rebroff in the thick of things. Vieira. Silvinho. He's already had one shot in the second half. Wiltor. Just a terrific tackle by Perry. Wiltor really didn't have time for an extra touch.
No way to go though, Martin, because Les Ferdinand's so far back, helping the people at the back. No real outball.
Rather hang-dog, the expression that Tottenham were wearing when Campbell went off seems to have changed. They're getting the tackles in, but they've lost sight of Robert Pires here. So far ahead of Wiltor and Dixon, and Spurs all contributing to the defensive cause as Rebroff saw it out. A different game to the one at West Ham when he scored the twice in that London derby.
So I'm just looking down, Martin. It looks like Leon Alson is going to come on. For who? We wait and see whether Ferdinand's proved that he's going to stay. Nah, he's limping, Les Ferdinand, Martin. It's sitting limped out away from that challenge. It might be him. If that's the case, then obviously it's just the case of Leon Alson dropping into midfield, Davison up top.
Henry. Spurs stand firm again. Adams. Silvinho. Still finding it hard to get out, Tottenham, and Sherwood caught by Lauren. Wiltor. Not a great angle for the shot. Doherty got in the way in any case. Carr keeps it in. Arsenal will come back at Spurs again through Silvinho. Pires. Dixon again advancing from right back. Pires spotted it. Laura. Henry. And Chris Perry on duty. And my goodness, Tottenham needed him there.
He's had a good start to the second half. Chris Perry, Martin, has made 3 or 4 really important challenges. None more so than this one. Because Henry knows what he wants to do. He's going to bring it down and hit it. It just got half a yard away from him. But the pressure mounts. All right. What a save. What a save. I mean, he doesn't get the cross, but goodness me, does he do well. Second time of Askins, it drops to Henry. He threw himself in front of it. Might add a little bit of help.
So Sherwood, who got his foot to the subsequent corner. Rebroff. And he's bought Tottenham a bit of time here and a chance to get out. They've been under siege.
Well, this is the one. He comes out really paused at this cross, doesn't get anything on it. Very quickly, look how brave he was. Throws himself at the feet of Henry.
Well, they've lost Campbell, and now they're losing Les Ferdinand.
2 big players, Martin. 2 big players.
Comes Øyvind Leonardson, just as Andy predicted. Stefan Everson, who will probably be happier playing further forward, is up there now alongside Rebroff. And remember, he got a goal that sent Tottenham to a major final for George Graham in the League Cup a couple of years ago. Let's hear again from Claire Tomlinson.
Well, Martin, I can tell you that the injury to Les Ferdinand is his hamstring.
Leonardson. Still 1-1. Clements. Now Show. And Everson. Well, with a scant share of possession, Spurs looking to show that they do still carry a threat.
I just think that they had to change, Martin. They had to change by doing something different, particularly up front. The centre midfield have done that. They natural sense to do such thing. Give Arsenal a problem at the back four. Ask them a question. Ask the two centre-backs and Lee Dixon and Silvino. Are you both going to go both full-backs when we've got two up front? One will certainly have to hold, I think.
Third midfield player giving Tottenham a better chance against the excellent movement that Arsenal showed in the first half from their quartet. Pires on Wiltor. Sylvain Wiltor. Sullivan saves it. And it ricochets behind. And, well, the thread that Spurs are hanging by seems to be cut here.
This is close, isn't it? Probably exactly in line. But this is another great chance. I tell you what, you cannot keep missing chances. You cannot do that without paying for it in the end.
Silvino. Tony Adams. Lauren. Challenged well by Clements. Put him off his own.
This is a great chance. Sloppy play from Chris Perry's first mistake of the match, basically. But brilliant goalkeeping, you have to say. Neil Sullivan stands big. Look how long he stands up. He makes Wiltor make a choice. What a great save, and what a big save that might be for Tottenham. Temps grow for Arsenal. More than half on target.
Well, the atmosphere further enhanced in the second half by the fact that the supporters for each team are behind the goals that the teams are attacking. And you have to say it wouldn't be the worst place to have an FA Cup final, Old Trafford, Manchester.
Well, I did say that earlier in the season, young man, that was shot down in flames.
Henry. I'll await the same reaction. Graham Poll's reaction is to point for a corner here.
Well, it's growing, the noise, the atmosphere. I think one or two Tottenham fans to our left, Mark, they suddenly might be thinking that voices are coming back since that save. They might just be thinking, hold on a minute, this could be our day. We might just ride our luck at the back here. We've only had one chance and we've scored. If we get another one, then who knows?
Henry.
Goodness me. I mean, free header. 7 yards.
Adams coming in behind him as well.
Unbelievable, Mark. Look at him. Just wanders in. Nobody really near him. Clear sight of the ball. He's on the way down. That's the only thing you would say. Just went up a little too early. Thierry Henry was on the way down when he headed it.
Tackle by Ledley King for Spurs. Everson, Sherwood, Carr, Rebroff ahead of it. Roars in Spurs voices now. Carr's cross. Just too close to David Seaman from the Tottenham perspective. Wonderful cut and thrust about this semi-final now. Henry. Easy for Sullivan as it was at the other end for the England goalkeeper seconds earlier. The Scotland goalkeeper is playing splendidly for Spurs.
I have to say, you just wonder how much Arsenal would like Tottenham to have a lot of say in the game, Mark, to push one or two forward. It's been really difficult for them because Tottenham have been camped and have been quite happy to be so. But if they start to think they can win the game, they start to push one or two forward. Leonardson's a natural forward-running player. With Everson up top with Rebroff, and one or two take a chance, then it might be to Arsenal's benefit to break quickly and find an opening.
67,000 here, split down the middle. The scoreline evenly split down the middle. Fowler almost split down the middle himself by Clements coming in. And Graham Poll is, I think, understood what this match means. Tense himself with just a calming word.
Well, first half it was a rash challenge from the skipper, Sol Campbell. Same sort of area. First half, way on the far side. Perez went over, arced the ball in. Found the head of Vieira.
He finds a head of show with Lauren. Silvino. Has gone to the left, but wants to to use the right foot. Kicked by Keown. Adams got a bit stuck under his feet. Perez, Clements for the challenge. Contact with the ball. Clements again. Great vision from Redroth, who knew where Carr was. He spins away and joins in, running through the centre as Carr takes it on. And Patrick Vieira's got some sorting out to do here.
Oh, that's brilliant, isn't it? Some midfield player, Martin, who 1 minute was up at the edge of the box trying to score. Lovely vision. Great ball wide here, but look at the ground that he makes up. Now he's coming from a central area. Look at that long stride, just eat up the grass. You know, when he got there, he was so convinced that it was a formality, wasn't he? It's just beginning to open. You often see in Premiership matches 1 or 2 tired legs maybe around the place. It's just beginning to open up a little bit.
Perez. Wiltor, it's a good take as Perry committed himself. Henry whips it in. Oh, it's Ray Parlour!
You cannot keep missing them. What a chance. Beautiful football again. Wiltord and Henry combined superbly. Oh, watch a little build-up play, and then when he stands this up back post, you're saying, go on, pick your spot, Ray Parlour. Too close to a goalkeeper of that quality to beat him.
Perez. Wiltor. Perez! Oh, and Sullivan keeps Arsenal at bay again!
Oh, dear, dear, dear.
Tremendous sportsmanship between the two as well.
Can this go on? I mean, it must be a matter of time, but is it going to be? Is it going to be one of these amazing semi-finals where a team gets battered and yet ends up pinching it?
Keown. Where's the ammunition for the Arsenal?
Oh, that's great extraordinary.
Lara. Wiltor. Parlour takes defenders away. Henry. The shot count rises. Arsene Wenger tries to stay seated and keep calm as his team keep firing blanks.
Oh, it's rising. Approaching 20. Again, good quantity on target, good ratio. Every other attempt on target. And Arsene Wenger's seen this a few times this season, Mark, particularly on the travels. And Arsenal playing and creating and not taking the chances that come their way and paying dearly for it. You must be sitting there thinking, surely not again, surely not in the semi-final.
I'll also be thinking, please not penalties.
Yes. But Phil Martin Tottenham was stuck in there. The goalkeeper's been absolutely fantastic. Kept him in the game. Absolutely no doubt about that.
Carr. Clements. Carr again. Clements, that wasn't the idea. That must be offside. And a couple of FA Cup winners' medal in his family, of course, with his dad Ray. David Seaman, a winner for Arsenal in 93 and 98. Evan Leonardson now under the microscope of the player cam for Sky Digital viewers. King. Now Dixon. Bounced up as he went to play it. To be fortunate that Parlour was able to reach it. Certainly wasn't played for Ray Parlour. Perez a bit guilty of standing and watching outside the penalty area. And we're still wondering how Neil Sullivan kept that his chance out from him. Show. Carr. Nelson lets lets it run. Rebroff. Master Tony Adams on the ball now. The Ukrainian. Perez. Arsenal pass their way through midfield again. Parler. Wiltor to the right this time. Perry has gone with it. Still Sylvain Wiltor.
Should have crossed that first time on his right foot. Had the chance.
Dixon. Vieira to Silvinho. And you have to admire Spurs for their stickability. And Arsenal, of course, had the hard game in midweek. Clements is going to be cautioned this time.
Catches Loudon. Tries to let the ball run, you can see, gets caught. Easy decision for Graham Paul.
Well, if it finishes in 90 minutes, we're at the three-quarter mark. But can't bet on that being the end of proceedings. Perez. Spreading it to Paul. Dixon. And a good angle. Doherty heads it away virtually from the spot where he headed Spurs into the lead. Rebroff. Rebroff again. Nice change of direction by Sherwood. Carr. Rebroff.
Dominance, isn't it? Last 5 minutes of the match, that.
Pretty typical of many periods of the match prior to that. Getting the ball into the attacking third hasn't been a problem for Arsenal. Getting it into the top of the net has. One goal came from a dead ball situation. Dixon. Off Sherwood's foot, and it's given Lauren something to chase. Dixon. Wiltor opted to get it down. Tottenham thought it was a handball.
I think when you're an international striker, that's half a chance. A lovely ball in, there's no real pressure on him. Referee didn't see that as a handball, but the control is behind him. Didn't really control it into an area he wanted.
Hasn't got his customary goal in the FA Cup today, Sylvain Wiltor.
Well, if he gets it in the next 20 minutes, man, you would feel that it might well be the winning goal.
Carr. It's a careless one from Silvinho. Leonardson. Carr. Rebroff. He's been bright and busy over the last 15 minutes or so, and no sooner said that.
Commentators cussed it is, young man. But he has been, he's looked happier.
He's wanted the ball.
Yeah, he's looked happier because he, as I said, he was Lee Dixon's shadow. I don't think he's ever man-marked anyone before in his career. He spent the first half doing it.
Rebroff gets Tottenham a free kick.
was a bit rash with Silvino for me at times, Martin. He does give away too many needless, unnecessary free kicks. The one thing that Gary Mavitt said he'd be looking for is to defend deep, defend long and hard. They've done that part, and we hoped that they would maybe spring something from a set play. This has been the first opportunity they've had second half, and they provide the delivery. They threaten Arsenal.
Sherwood leads it, Clements takes it too low. Keogh. He's a young man who backs his own ability on the ball. Nothing against Parler, but now he's got to turn back against the same player. And here's the kick. Young. Spread by King to Clements. And Arnson dragging Adams out of the centre a little bit. He's had to put the brakes on because Adams stood firm, held his ground in the end, knowing that there would be an offside coming if the ball was played. Carr in a legitimate position. Here's Vieira. Pass Sherwood. Still Vieira, Wiltor. Perez coming in from the opposite side. Robert Perez! At last for Arsenal!
So many times the option was there first half. Refused and refused and refused it. But this springs from Patrick Vieira, Martin, in midfield. He won the ball and drove on. And Tottenham and committed men forward. Now look at this wonderful play. Delayed and delayed his pass. And then, when he's got nowhere to go, for once to play the ball across the face of the 6-yard box. And Perez has a simple tap in at the back post. Great ball across here.
Well, Robert Perez, who scored at Queen's Park Rangers in the 4th round, scored against Blackburn in the round 6, has maybe turned it Arsenal's way, but Young looks to hit back straight away for Spurs. No good now, Tottenham thinking on a holding policy and trying to run the energy out of the Arsenal legs. And there's a certain poignancy here that Robert Perez appreciates, because he's wearing the number 7 shirt, the shirt that David Rocastle had. He scored against Tottenham last week, but he may, after scoring here, be having to leave the game.
Yeah, he's just indicating that the right hamstring, Martin, was troubling him. It might be his last.
Henry.
I was just asking Wenger out there, just telling Perez to just stay there, just sit there. And get sure it'll be Freddie Ljungberg on as soon as possible.
Everson. Well, it came to Rebrov, where he's such a good volleyer, as we showed in the quarter-final at West Ham.
Lee Dixon did just enough, Martin. That's when you talk about playing a back four and knowing your players. He got in very close to his centre-back, sensed there was a little danger, just did enough to put Rebrov off.
Dixon. So what does Glenn Hoddle do now?
Well, he's struggling with alternatives, really. Willem Costin, he has on the bench. Might look to change it, go for it at the back, take a little chance.
Sherwood. Rebrov. Lewin trying to catch the eye of his players to get the ball out. Freddie Ljungberg can come on for Robert Pires. And Arsenal's French number 7. And another who wore that same number so famously, Eric Cantona. Well, has appreciated the French ingredients in the goal by which Arsenal lead. Vieira, Wiltor, Pires for Arsene Wenger. And the Tottenham fans are now beginning to fear the worst, but there's still the best part of 15 minutes left.
Looking around, you wonder what you can do. Alton Thelwell's the one, that's the change they're about to make, Martin. He's about to come on, it's going to be interesting to see. I think Doherty's got to be thrown up front, I have to say myself. You might as well, lose an FA Cup semi-final having a go. You might as well lose it 3-1, trying to get back into it.
3-1, as it was, of course, to Spurs in 91. They're 2-1 down here. Carr. Rebrov. Sherwood. Ljungberg. Well, the gaps may well open up for Arsenal on the break here, and Ori sped past Chris Perry until Perry timed the lunge to perfection.
What a tackle, son. But that's the chance you have to take, Martin. You have to risk losing a third.
Young losing out to the evergreen Lee Dixon. Arsenal trying to find the goal that will settle it here. Almost embarrassed the choices there with Dixon. Spurs are going to make their third and final substitution. Tony Stelwell. He's played against Arsenal twice already this season. His first season in the first team, comes on for Stephen Clements.
Gary Doherty is going to be thrown up front. Yeah.
He knew it. He was just waiting for confirmation. Barlett. Ljungberg. Keown picked out Wiltor then. The defender certainly hadn't picked out the Arsenal striker. Carr. Rebrov.
Time and again over the years, Martin, we've watched you and I, Dixon, Keown, Adams, Seaman stand firm under enormous pressures, see it through. They've been asked to do it one more time here in this semi-final.
Well, we're into the intriguing psychology now, aren't we? Arsenal having got in front, are they going to try and just defend that? Well, not if Tottenham present the ball to them there. There's going to be more goals for the taking, and they do finish at 2 today. They wonder how they finish with so few, in truth.
I don't know why they've committed so many men, Martin, as well at times. Committed a lot forward there. Parler and Ljungberg went ahead of the ball. I think if I was Arsene Wenger, I'd be saying, yeah, okay, don't mind one of you going, but I don't want both going at the same time. We've got two pretty talented front men up there. If we can just get the ball to them, they might fashion a goal themselves without searching for another.
King. Well, they've got to try and get it up to where Doherty can fight for it like that. But Keown, a difficult customer, of course, for Doherty to have to deal with. I believe Gary Doherty's better position is as a striker. He'll tell you that he prefers playing at the back. Webcam now on Thierry Henry. For Sky Digital Viewers, channel 404. Rebroff. Silvino.
There's no more he can do now, Mark. Changes have been made. He's just got to hope that his team can fashion a chance, take it.
Flick forward by Carr. Everson, offside Doherty.
Yeah.
One of those where he's moving one way, the defender's the other, and
How often have we seen this with Arsenal? Look at Lee Dick, look how close it is, though. That's the one that gives them more difficulty, but suddenly as it arrives there, he looks 5-10 yards off. Over the years, it's three. She stood in a line like that, arms up. So often the flag is followed.
Acrobatics also from Perry. So it looks as though this FA Cup semi-final is going to go to League 4.
It's brave of you.
Well, it's still the FA Cup.
6 minutes to go, mate.
Ljungberg, whose obsession with the colour red, it extends to the hairdo as well. Young. Certainly as a match, the shape of it has gone to league form, but Spurs have kept Arsenal within reach. And it breaks here for Ledley kick. Thelwell. Now Rebroff. Sherwood. Everson. It's Dixon who gets it away. Vieira. Lauren. Wiltor was in space.
Played it before he had to as well, Lauren. He could have taken the touch and then released Wiltor.
6 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Sherwood. Here's Parlour.
I should just be laying that ball down the side of Thierry Henry and Parlour, just trying to do too much with it. When we made the run wide, prepared to drive forward, feed it down the line, let him get after it.
Adams. Lauren. There's some keep ball going on for Arsenal. You can't just step off, they've got to come out and try and get the possession back. Wiltor.
He's after his goal, isn't he? He's after his goal there. Ends up not with a bad ball.
Rebroff. Contact by Sherwood on Patrick Vieira. There's been the heart of Arsenal play, but that is a very slovenly attempt at the free kick, giving the ball to Doherty. Most unlike Vieira. Everson. Keown has to clear.
It's as sloppy as I've seen him. In fact, no, I'll tell you when, the last time he did that, Semi-final at Villa Park, replay. Sloppy ball to Ryan Giggs. You know what happened then.
Young. King. Now still full of running. Parlour. Well, the anxieties still go on for the Arsenal fans as well as the Tottenham faithful. The opportunity to kill the game off they have been, and they haven't taken them. Carr.
Isn't it incredible? Here's a team who have dominated this game for so long. Go 2-1 up. Suddenly they know they're so close to the final. They back off the play a little bit. Tottenham have got to go for it. And suddenly the pressure's coming from Spurs.
Lau. Pulled down by Sherwood. He's doing his best to try and get one last foothold in midfield for Spurs and maybe instigate an attack that would take us to extra time. 3 minutes of stoppage time. Arsene Wenger often does make a late change involving a defender. Sometimes it's Nelson Vivas. He's not in the squad today. Ashley Cole is getting ready to come on, but not at that stoppage of play. Sherwood. Everson. And now Rebroff for Carr. Great position for the cross. Rebroff going in. Parlour's got it stuck under his foot momentarily. It comes out only as far as Sherwood. Thelwell. Sherwood. Bypass Keogh. Sherwood goes in again, and Arsenal breathe again. The ball safely in the grasp of David Seaman.
So does Patrick Vieira again, Mark. A really sloppy free kick from him. Well, he's not going to get his goal.
Sylvain Wiltord hasn't scored in the semi-final after getting 6 spread over the previous 4 rounds in his first season in the FA Cup. But he comes off now with Arsenal so close to taking him to the final in Cardiff. Cole straight away forces Thelwell into conceding a corner. We're in the 90th minute. Arsenal don't need to send up Keogh and Adams now. More conservative approach. Silvino and Cole in tandem. Still Arsenal's ball.
The last big question is how much time have we got? We're about to find out.
3 minutes is the answer.
How did you know that? It's just gone up now.
Telepathy. Rebroff. Well, it's been much closer than it might have been given the way Arsenal have played here. Spurs have stuck at it, 45 by scoring first. Comes off Sherwood. Cole. Ferocious cross.
Ross Martin. He's got him a throw in. Well, should have got him a throw in. I can't quite understand how that kick went Spurs' way.
Rebroff. Doherty used the arm.
take this either.
Doherty, who delighted Tottenham early on with that goal in the 13th minute, but when Sol Campbell went off and they were down to 10 men, Tottenham, Vieira's equaliser carried a sense of justice about it, and in truth so did the goal from Pires, which is so close now to winning the day up here in Manchester for Arsenal Football Club. Ljungberg. Henry. Oh, and he didn't like the way Perry pinned him against the boards then. Didn't put his hands up there at Graham Poll as well. It's a yellow card for Thierry Henry.
Well, the ball gets away from them both. I'm not quite sure he's got any complaint here with Chris Perry. Calm down, I think.
Doherty gets a toe to it, but Silvino will get there first for Arsenal. Despite the gallant effort of Stephen Carr, despite a gallant go at it from Spurs here. Difficult team selection for Glenn Hoddle, having to gamble on the fitness of certain players, but it's Arsenal who go to Cardiff. Robert Pires' goal has settled the semi-final, and at this stage 2001 stops the Spurs. Patrick Vieira equalised Gary Doherty's early opening goal for the underdogs, but in the end, despite the heroics of Sullivan, on the neutral soil here, almost 200 miles from home, the North London derby has gone with league form. No dream return for Glenn Hoddle on his managerial debut for the club he loves. But Manchester euphoria for Arsenal, who were so shattered at the semi-final stage by Manchester United the last time they were in the semi-final. Memories then of 93 and not 91. And one for the historians really. Arsenal, who were the beaten finalists in 1927 when the FA Cup left England for the only time for Cardiff City, they go to Wales on May the 12th. And Andy, I guess you would feel they thoroughly deserve it.
I think so, Mark. I don't think anyone, even the most ardent Tottenham fans, could argue with that. I thought we had a team who came to win this semi-final, and another who came not to get beat. The team that came to win it did so, and I don't think anyone could argue with that. They were fantastic, I felt, from the first minute to the end of the game. So much to Tottenham for staying in there, because they were dominated. It could have been a big score. It wasn't. They hung in there. It just wasn't enough. The quality of the side in red and white that we see so often at Old Trafford, Mark, came through again today, and that's all you can say. The team that deserves to be contesting it on the day, the final, are going to be.
A good weekend in the Northwest for the Red Marauders. Arsenal 2, Tottenham 1.
That fellow was immense, wasn't he? Patrick Vieira. David Seaman goes back for another FA Cup final, and it's just like the first. The French connection are on the road to Cardiff. Gary Mavett and Alan Smith have been with us all afternoon. Is that fair, Gary, what Andy said, that one team came to win it, the other came not to lose?
Yes, I mean, Tottenham gave everything they had. I mean, full credit to the chaps, but it was a determined performance. But in the end, Arsenal's quality shone through. They deserved the victory.
Assured and steady calm, Alan, and ultimately the Gunners have won through, eh?
Yeah, I think, you know, they did themselves justice today, and I always thought that if they did do that, they would be fine. And yeah, Tottenham did as much as they could possibly do, but Arsenal, I thought at one stage that the missed chances were going to cost them, but they eventually took one. And yeah, I mean, they did thoroughly deserve to win it. We knew that they'd got superior quality, and that did show ultimately.
Football from Sky Sports still to come. Hibs play Rangers today at 5:30. The chase for second place on. Rangers have it now, and with a cushion. Hibs, if they want it, need to win that. It's on Sky Sports 1 at 5:30. 6:30 on Sky Sports 3. From Spain, it's Real Zaragoza against Deportivo. Middlesbrough meets Sunderland tomorrow at 7 o'clock. It's on Sky Sports 1. It's interactive for Sky Digital viewers. It's a huge night for Middlesbrough. Manchester City, incidentally, are playing at Everton this afternoon. There's been goals at Goodison. We'll see them shortly. Wednesday night, Blackburn meet Fulham. That's the top two in the First Division. 7 o'clock start, Sky Sports 1. We'll get reaction here. More from Gary and from Alan when we come back from downstairs. From the beaten semi-finalist Spurs. From the man of the match, I wonder who that is. And from the victors, Arsenal, who have one hand on the FA Cup. They are going to the final. Time for contemplation if you're a Tottenham fan, and the odd tear. But if you're a Gunner, then it's time for celebration. 2-1 to the Arsenal. Gary Doherty scored the opener for Spurs. Vieira equalised. 1-1 at half-time. Robert Pires with the winner. Look at the attempts from Arsenal. 22. Hit the target 11 times. Scored with 2 goals. Crucially, the second from Pires. Their 14th final beckons. They have one hand on the FA Cup. They're going to Cardiff. Man of the match, he's with Claire Tomlinson.
Patrick, it was an incredible game to watch. What was it like to play in?
I think on the pitch before the game we all get the pressure because it's a big place in the final to play. And I think today we show our experience to play the big game. And I think we deserve to win the game today.
The fact that it was against your North London rivals, did that make it even more intense out there?
Of course, I think the fans showed today that it was a really important game for them as well. And I think on the pitch we just tried to be focused on our game and we just tried to play the best we can today. And in the end we win it. We're really happy with that.
You went 1-0 down. What did you feel at that point? Just more determination?
Yeah, we was 1-0 down. They create one chance, they score the goals. And we are really confident because we play really good football. And we fight to come back, so we just come back at 1-1 and we know that they was a little bit tired. And in the second half we just showed that we play better than them and in the end we scored and that was fantastic for us.
You love getting goals against Tottenham. You scored the equaliser in the game at White Hart Lane. How did that feel today? How did you feel when that went in today?
I feel really, really proud and I think we 1-0 down, it wasn't so easy. And I think Campbell was outside, so it was an opportunity for someone to score. So I just attacked the ball and put it in the net. So I was really pleased because I don't think we deserve to lose the game 1-0.
You went on a great run in midweek to set up a goal against Valencia. Again, it was your run that set up the winner for Robert Pires.
Yeah, I think when you play in the midfield, sometimes you create some space and you just have to go in. And I was really lucky, but Robert scored a really important goal today.
Were you worrying at all that so many chances went begging?
Yeah, because normally when you play an important game like that and you create so many chances, if you don't score it, so you just come after the game, you're a little bit disappointed. And I think today we create so many chances, we scored 2, but we're really happy with that. So,
can you sum up how you feel about being in the cup final, Patrick?
I don't know, it's difficult to realize now because the game just finished, a little bit tired now. I think in the dressing room the ambience would be fantastic, so we'll be really happy with that.
Man of the match, well done.
Thank you, Claire. Thank you.
Man of the match, again, Patrick Vieira. His grasp of the language is a whole lot better than it was as well, isn't it? Tremendous pace in that, and energy in his game today, Alan. How often has Patrick Vieira stamped his authority on games?
Every time I'm here, I say man of the match, it's always Patrick. He seems to come good on the big occasions. He is a big-time player, and he just makes things tick in the middle there. He's majestic in possession, isn't he? And he covers the ground so effortlessly. We saw him up for corners, and all of a sudden he's back defending deep in his own half. Fantastic, and I think Arsene Wenger just prays that he can keep the lure of Italy away from him.
Did your team score too early, Gary, on reflection?
No, I wouldn't say that. I think the team went out to play the way Glenn wanted them to do it. They had to go out there and defend early on, get a lot of players behind the ball. They did that, hopefully to catch Arsenal on the break or from a set piece. And that's the way it worked out. the balls come in, and really, as I said, it was a great chance for Les, a great save from David Seaman. But again, said at half-time, good reaction from Gary at the far post. We'd gone 1-0 in front. And at that stage of the game, the team were defending very well. So we had the upper hand, I thought, in the first 15 minutes of the game. But then after that, we didn't really create anything throughout the whole game. And we've just spoken about Patrick Vieira. Well, he was magnificent, scoring the first goal and creating the second.
Would you concede that point now, that they were better for the opening quarter of an hour? Did it take Arsenal time to settle?
Yeah, I mean, I said beforehand, I thought that sometimes Arsenal do need a kick up the backside, and I thought Tottenham would dictate the tempo early on, and they came in with some crashing tackles, didn't they? Which riled Arsenal a little bit, and I think that did shake them up and got them into the pace of the match. But yeah, I think that was fairly predictable, the way Spurs came at it, and it was always going to be difficult when they went a goal behind, because to change the way they played their formation, and they didn't really have the personnel to do it.
Spurs lost their centre-forward second half, their captain in the first half. He was off the pitch when this happened, and was that crucial? Would he have made a difference had he been in there? We'll never know, will we?
No, you'll never know that, but of course you would say that some of Sol's size in there defending, he may have had a difference, but it's impossible to say that.
So many chances, Alan, time and time again. And then finally...
You miss them, and you do think, I mean, Andy said in commentary, you cannot afford to miss this many chances, but Arsenal were that superior in the end that they could afford to miss that many and create another one. I mean, that says it all about Vieira, that little nick, and past Sherwood. And, you know, Perez was one of the biggest culprits for missing chances, and he was just there, he wasn't going to miss that one.
Amazing. Glenn, in his first press conference, said, what are you going to bring when he was asked to Tottenham? He said, class football. And this winning goal, this was exactly what he was talking about. Lovely move, great score from Vieira, lovely ball across the goal.
I mean, Viltord, I thought, was second only to Vieira as best Arsenal player. I thought great initiative in the last third, and he did miss a couple of chances, but it was fitting that he did set the winning goal up.
How big is the gap between Spurs and Arsenal right now?
Today's performance, you can see quite clearly that Arsenal have got a lot of quality throughout their side. Tottenham's creativity is limited when Dan Anton's not in the side, but there is still a big gulf between the two sides.
When we come back, reaction from the winning manager, Arsene Wenger, who's going back to the FA Cup final. And we'll have some Premiership goals. Manchester City have been at Everton today. We'll see what happened there. Two more matches to come from Sky Sports today, including, of course, Hibs against Rangers, and tomorrow night with Monday Night Football. Monday Night Football and more, and wherever Manchester United win the title this season, remember, we will be there to see it done. Here's Arsene Wenger with Claire Tomlinson.
Arsene, Patrick Vieira has told us it was a game that Arsenal didn't deserve to lose. I guess you would agree with that?
Yes, I believe that we made it the hard way, because we're creating chance after chance, and after 20 minutes we're 1-0 down. So of course that gave a lift to Tottenham, and we needed to be mentally solid. And without losing our shape, we tried to create the chances. And unfortunately, we missed chance after chance, so you wonder always when you're in football if you will not pay that at the end of a game. But we could score a second goal, and then it was all over.
You're legendary for your calmness on the touchline as chance after chance went begging. How did you feel? How did you stay calm?
I was nervous inside, but I tried to keep control, of course. But
we looked always like we could create chances, and that's why I kept being positive and kept a positive thinking, because I felt always that at some stage the ball will go in, and that Sullivan will not save everything, and finally we got that goal.
Patrick Vieira was man of the match yet again, Arsene. How important is he to your team?
He's phenomenal, but I believe the whole team was outstanding today, like against Valencia. But he finished like the rest of the team, very tired in the last 15-20 minutes. And you could see he gave 2 goals away on free kicks. That's unusual for him. And finished very tired. Our problem now is physical, but the team is in a great mental shape. So we'll see, because they have a big game now on Wednesday night here again against Man City, and we have just to recover physically.
City, of course, playing this afternoon. They're at Goodison Park. It's half-time there, and we'll see what's happening in that first 45 in a moment or so. But, I mean, no great celebration, just some thoughtful reaction, I think, to the afternoon, and he succinctly summed things up, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he was very pleased, actually, with his team's performance. Maybe after Wednesday, not quite sure they're going to react physically. I mean, Arsene Wenger is a big man for talking about how tired they are sometimes, you know, but they didn't show any signs of weariness out there today.
How can footballers be tired when they keep winning matches?
They're winning matches, aren't they? And I think, as a footballer, he'll tell you, yeah, let the games keep coming, you know, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, whenever. They want to play if they're winning. And that's the way it is with Arsenal at the moment. I mean, they're playing really well. And for that reason, Spurs really weren't in with a shout after they got back into the match. The difference in quality was huge, I thought. And the number of players that could turn the match in a red shirt, you know, far outnumbered those in a white.
We will never know, of course, but is there a debate on how well George Graham's team may have done today, had he been in charge to set Spurs up, as opposed to Glenn Hoddle's side?
I don't think there's been a huge difference. The thing about it is that George Graham, knowing the Arsenal side, a lot of the Arsenal players, he may have done a couple of things differently. Tactically, he may have perhaps players in different positions than players that Glenn played them today. But no, again, it's all thinking about what may have happened, and this was a situation today, and on the day, Arsenal deserved the victory, and unfortunately Tottenham didn't.
What happens to Tottenham this season now?
Well, really now it's a case of this is where Glenn Hoddle's rebuilding starts. He's now got to start looking towards the future. His most important thing he's got to do now is to secure Sol Campbell, Darren Anderton, Les Ferdinand for next season. After that, he's got to start planning for the future and hopefully start taking the club back to where hopefully it should belong.
You have to look for any sort of silver lining that you can, but to some degree then, does that help him that he now knows that he's got this section of the season to play around with and then start afresh come August?
No, they'd like to be in the final, of course. Really, he had the summer to plan anyway, but his planning can start a little bit earlier. They say it's imperative he gets those players signed on for next season, because the club really do have to start rebuilding now.
Be interested to hear what Fan Zone made of all this afternoon. Let's find out.
Finish! Oh, great save, David! Yes! Yes! He's done it! Gary Doherty! He's given us the lead! His third goal in the FA Cup! He's done it! Get in there! Hallelujah! Yes! Go! Patrick Vieira again! Can't Sylvain this time. Put it back. Yes! Go! Robert Pires again!
Summed up, great. Rather summed up by our Tottenham representative, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that does, yeah. Nothing needs to be said.
That's for Sky Digital viewers, of course. If you haven't checked it out, you should do.